Hey guys, Jeff. Thanks for checking out my video today. This one's going to be on the Springfield Echelon. I just recently picked it up. I wasn't one of the people that were approved to get a pre-release version, so I had to wait for it to come out onto the market and pick one up just like you guys did. So if you like this kind of content, you like what I'm doing here, you want to support a small creator who buys his own guns, throw me a like, a subscribe, and share with your friends. Comments in the comments section. Let's have a dialogue. If I get something right, I get something wrong, and you want to let me know about it, it helps with the algorithm, and we can get right into this. So what do you got here? Well, you got a black paper box here, right? So let's see what's inside. Here's the gun. I already got it configured. I've already had it at the range for a while. I wanted to feel what it felt like with the light on there. So there's the gun. You have the nice little bag here. Already have it configured. There's the spare magazine. So I was trying different things out. You do have the target from the factory, so that's kind of cool. A little advertisement for registering for the warranty, chamber indicator flag, and then here's a couple more pieces. That was the base plate, so it did come in the configuration of a 20 round and the 17 round. I took the 17 round plate off, and so now I have the two 20 rounds on there. I mean, if you got the availability for the added rounds, why not have the added rounds, right? So you get your lock, and then you've got the pins for the universal mounting system. This is for the Shield, and this is for the Delta Point Pro and EFLX. So that's what's in the box here. Moving this out of the way, we can get into the gun because that's really what you're here for. So let me zoom in. All right, what do we got here? So we've got another polymer framed pistol. And this one is from Springfield Armory. Now, Springfield Armory is one of those companies that I think the industry has loved to hate. A lot of it is deserved. They are a Croatian company that is importing, right? And they've been importing for quite a while now. They made the XD line, the XDM, the XD Elite. They have several different calibers. They make the Hellion, I think, yeah, the Hellion. They make an AR-15. So there's a whole bunch of guns, right? Springfield is not, one of those companies that is going to just kind of sit by and not really do anything. They have had some stumbles. They've made some bad business decisions, some legislative actions that were frowned on where they're at in Illinois to try to get some favorable treatment. A lot of people kicked them in the balls over that. Rightly so. I think they deserved every bit of that. Now, do they put out a decent gun? Yes, they do. And they were one of the first guns that I ever got into in the polymer market. I started with the XD line over 10 years ago. And they were, an alternative to the Glock at the time when there wasn't a lot of alternatives. So Springfield, I think, really made a name for themselves being the anti-Glock. And they really did a good job with it. They've had some other missteps, the grip zone and, silly marketing, things like that. That's not what this video is about. This video is about this gun here, right? So this is the Springfield Echelon. The Echelon is a modular pistol, right? So it's got a chassis system. The grips are replaceable, but the chassis system, just like on the SIG 320, 250, and a lot of other guns nowadays, that chassis system is removable. So there's a lot of cool features on here, and I think Springfield really has done a good job bringing a good quality gun to market here. So just kind of, looking around the gun, first thing you'll notice, it does have a good grip texture, right? So this is a not super aggressive, not not a very slippery texture, but it is a good feeling grip, and it does let you get a really high purchase on the gun. You've got an undercut here, so you can really get pretty high up on the guns, which means that you're going to have a more natural point of aim, point of impact. It does kind of mimic your finger pointing in a direction, or in the direction of where it is that you're shooting, making your first shot engagements a lot easier because it's going to have a natural point of aim. Now, some of the things that you'll notice right away, obviously, forward serrations, right? I think that's becoming pretty standard on most guns these days. But what you'll notice here is you've got these, and I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. You do have this kind of ramp little thing here, right? So it kind of zooms in or pinches in as it goes back, and it draws your finger back here to the back. So if you're doing your forward press checks, or you checking to see if your gun is loaded, and you're just using that forward press check. That is a very pronounced area of the gun with that relief cut in the slide. Obviously, you've got another one back here, kind of a ledge. These were, kind of the aftermarket modifications people were doing on guns for a while, and this one has its standard. So that's kind of cool. Now, another cool feature with this gun, underneath this plate here, is you have a bunch of dimples, and I'll try to find an image and cut that in. And that's what those pins were for. Well, here, I have this right here. So you can see here on the documentation, you can see that those pins right there, those holes under the plate, allow you to use a universal optic mount, right? So you can put the pins that they give you, the RDS or the shield, and then it will lock into the pins that are there on your optic, so you get a good solid configuration or good mount to your upper slide assembly. Now, sticking with the modularity aspect of this pistol, they do come with 3 back straps that you can have on here, right? So this is the small, that's the medium. I think there's a large in there. I started with the medium. Medium is what comes on it. I tried the small and then the medium. I'm kind of sticking towards the small. I think it just gives me a better grip on the gun. That said, there are some issues with that, but I'll come back to that in a minute. It does have ambi slide release, right? So you will see that it is actually ambidextrous. That does work very well, even with the loaded magazine. When you go to release that slide, if you're a lefty, that is a slide release. That is not just a slide stop. I think a lot of guns make a point to call that out as just a slide stop. On this gun, it is considered a slide release. Now, on the magazine release, it is ambidextrous as well. So you can see that it is ambidextrous. Works very well either way. So, your mileage may vary, but on this gun, it's working either way. Now, like I said earlier, it does come with 2 magazines, so you do get the 20 round and then the 17 round, but it does come with the added base plate, and you can put this on. Now, something that you're going to want to make note of, and this is one of the issues that people are complaining about, is this this base plate. If it gets put on incorrectly, and you see that little tab right there, if that gets put on incorrectly, then you get what you've probably seen in several videos with several complaints, is people pushing in, pushing up, or maybe even pushing a little bit forward, knocking that base plate off. Now, in all of those videos that I've seen, and they're probably videos that you're watching as well, they insist that those magazine base plates were put on there correctly most of the time. Sometimes they'll call out the manufacturers putting it on incorrectly, but I have heard people say that even when it was put on correctly, it still popped off. I don't know. I haven't experienced that, and I beat the smack out of these things at the range. So I don't know, man. You guys take that with a grain of salt. That'll go popping off. I haven't experienced that, so we'll see, right? Time will tell. If that becomes an issue, I'm sure Springfield will do a recall. I've seen them do recalls before. And, if they do a recall, maybe we get a couple more magazines out of it, right? So, anyway, typical takedown. I'm not going to go ahead and take it down just because, YouTube frowns on it. Well, fuck it. Let's take it down. So, it's just like the 320. You don't have to pull the trigger when you pop it off, just like any other gun. That's your removable chassis system, so you can't take that out and put it into another frame. If maybe they come out with an FDE, or they come out with an OD green, or Pepto-Bismol pink, whatever they decide to come out with, you will be able to take that trigger assembly out of there and pop it into here. Talking about the trigger assembly real quick while I've got it there, you can see that it is a flat face trigger. It is kind of good, and I will pull the trigger gauges out here in just a moment, but let me get this back together real quick, and I will do that next. So you just pop it back on, pop the lockdown pin back in place, and you are good to go. So I haven't tested the trigger on this yet, but we can do that together right now. It's not very bad. The reset's not very bad. It is very light and crisp. It's not competition quality, but it is very adequate for defensive carry. So pull this real quick. And that's breaking on that one. That one was 5 pounds. Let's see if I get that in focus for you guys. That one was 5 pounds. Let's try a couple more just to get a good average. That one was 5 1/4. You guys can see that. And then we'll do one more. Just get a 3-point average. And that one was just a little over 5 pounds. And hopefully you guys can see that. So, a little over 5 pounds I think is perfectly adequate. 6 pounds is pretty common, pretty average, so having a 5 pound is between a light trigger and a duty trigger. So I would say it's perfectly adequate at 5 pounds. Obviously you have a rail on here. Not a lot more to really talk about. You've got a little ledge. The sighting system. So you do have a U-notch. Now there's a couple of versions. There's a 3-dot and then a U-notch. This one is night glow, or I don't know what they're calling it, some kind of glow in the dark. Alright, so I don't really see anything about it, but it is glow in the dark. So, you know, it does retain a little bit of light. When you shut all the lights off, you can't see it. It does glow kind of a lime green. That said, here, let's see if I can get a light on here. Use this light right here. Get it to glow. And if you can see that, I don't know how well it's coming through on camera, guys. I apologize. I'll try to get a picture of it in the dark. Again, it's going to be with, you know, the sensor on the camera or whatever to give it the appearance, but I'll do my best just because I am here working for you. So now, pros, lots of pros on this gun, guys. It is coming in at a good price point. It has all the features that you'd want in a good quality duty weapon. I think it's entering into a fairly saturated market. You know, the polymer pistol game has been pretty strong for a long time. So coming in with updates, I think they had a misstep with the grip zone version of the XD, so the XDE line I think is what it was. So this is kind of trying to address that, a little refresh. You know, polymer is easy, injection molded polymer is easy to manipulate, so I think it's an easy way for them to make a little bit more money, you know, kind of update the slide. That's where the milling and you know, a lot of the manufacturing goes into the slide. These are important pieces to manufacture, so I think this is where they focused a lot of their energy on these grooves, these relief cuts, this integrated mounting system for your optic. I think they saw the writing on the wall. Everybody's going to optics nowadays, so get a gun out that's got an integrated optic system that makes it a very interesting contender in the optics pistol line. So I think they did a really good job with that. Now, what did they get wrong? Well, I don't know if it's wrong yet per se, but one problem I'm having is that pops out really easy. Now, you know, that could be a manufacturing defect, it could be a design defect, but if you look at how it's built, right, it's just a little piece of bent plastic. I could probably take a heat gun and try to, you know, wedge it up a little bit, but out of the box, you know, having it come off that easily, like, really, guys, that's like stupid simple, right? And you know, it'll still function like that, but if you're paying $500-600 for a gun, do you want it to have a silly little thing like that happening to it? I mean, come on, right? I mean, that's kind of idiotic. But at any rate, all in all, I think this is a great gun. I think it's really hitting a lot of interesting design features and characteristics, which is going to make it a very compelling gun for a lot of people moving forward. So with that, I give it a thumbs up. I think it's a recommended. You know, new guns always come with some interesting manufacturing bugs that need to get worked out sometimes, but I think all in all, this is a great gun, and I think this is going to be a good seller for Springfield Armory. So with that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. If you like what I'm doing, you want to support a small channel, like I said in the beginning, like, subscribe, share with your friends, comments in the comments section always help with the algorithm. I bought this gun with my own money, as I buy all my guns with my own money. Sometimes I get loaner guns to review, but the guns that I buy with my money. So your engagement helps fund this type of purchase. I'm not asking for PayPal or Patreon or any of that kind of stuff. So like, subscribe, share with your friends. Let's help with the algorithm. If you want to buy me a coffee, you can throw me a tip. I do have PayPal links in the description. I also have affiliate links that help offset some of the cost of this stuff, and I always appreciate that as well. And if I've got something wrong, or you want to let me know that I'm a dumbass, or I got something right and you want to let me know that too, always appreciate it. So with that, guys, stay safe, stay active, stay vigilant, stay in the fight, because the fight for your rights never ends. Take care. See ya. Bye-bye.